All right, so I just want to go over a couple things before we get rolling here with this kind of post Christmas break second trimester. I know that for some students it's really exciting because we get to be back in person, but others are staying virtual, and you're probably wondering what that's going to look like and how things will change. So I just want to go over a couple of things of changes that are going to be made now that I'll have some students in the classroom and some students that are virtual. So this video is for the virtual students. So if you are an in-person student, then you don't need to be watching this. But virtual students, this will just give you kind of a heads up for what you're going to see, a few little changes we're going to make. So a lot of things stay the same, but there are a couple of things I want to point out. When you log on to Canvas, you will still go to our modules and you'll find our page that has the work for that day. And it will look something similar to this. It'll have the same or very similar agenda, but something that you might see that we did not have the first couple weeks is in-person students will always do a warm-up, something to kind of get going. And I typically don't take a grade for that, but once in a while I might throw in a pop quiz with quiz quote unquote because it'll just be more of a check or some type of small assignment in there. So if I do that, and that's something that virtual students can do as well, then you'll see that here at the top. For my geometry class, you can see I threw a warm-up and it's a little assignment in Canvas. So virtual students will do that for geometry. This video is for Algebra 1B, my Algebra 1B class, and for geometry class. So it's the same setup, but just know that obviously you're two different classes watching the same video. So again, the first change is you might see a warm-up up here at the top, and it looks something like this. And that won't be a big assignment. It's just a couple questions, get that taken care of. Like normal, you'll see our learning targets, and then instead of lesson video, you can see this just says lesson. And the change that comes here is that when I have people in person and virtual students, as of now, I don't think I'm going to pre-record lessons, and I will not be doing, well, as of now, I do not think I will be doing an ed puzzle. Once in a while, I might put in a reading check or learning check just to make sure virtual students are staying up to date and are actually reading the material or watching the videos. But moving forward, you'll see the page numbers for both classes. You'll see the page numbers that we're covering and a link to your textbook by pressing the picture, or you could just open it in the app. And that will be something that's up right away in the morning. And if you want to get your stuff done at 8:30 a.m., then those page numbers will be posted and that link will be available. So you can just read the textbook for that. Now for the video, I will be recording our in-class lesson. So in class, if we're talking about lesson 6.1 and I go through my slides and things like that in class, I'll record that time and I will post it here. But that won't be until later in the afternoon. So if you want to watch a video, if you're like, I don't want to read the textbook and you'd rather watch me go through it, then you can press here sometime after lunch and I will have a video there for you. So again, that's not an ed puzzle. There's not going to be an assignment every single time with reading or watching. There might be once in a while, but again, not every time. So if you read and you're not understanding things, then you want to watch the video later, then that will work out great. So there's one change that maybe you're happy about for the virtual students is that there's not an ed puzzle for, I don't think there's going to be an ed puzzle every day. Like I said, some things might change, but right now I'm planning on giving you the option to either read or watch a video of me, or sometimes I will have a video of someone else, which a lot of times I put in the additional resources, but I might put it up here. If you would rather watch someone else than me and I like their video, then that works out good for me. That's totally good, fine with me. Now this is where things stay the same, your assignment. So in-person students, I'll just hand out paper of the assignment, and in-person students would turn this in, paper copy. Virtual students, it's going to stay the same, where you'll save this to your iPad, do your work on there and then load it back into this assignment. Or if you want to copy some of it down on paper and load it that way, then that's totally fine with me. The expectation is still that you make corrections. So you can see I'll still post the answers. So make sure, virtual students, that you're still doing those corrections. In-person students will do those corrections during class. So, and then at the bottom again, additional resources. So a few things that change. Um, you probably, if you like to get your math done in the morning, then you won't be watching as many videos of me talking and teaching the lesson. You'll just go to the textbook. But a video of me will be available almost every day. I mean, if we're taking a quiz or have a quiz review or something like that, then there might not be a video. It might just be some quick directions. But if we have a regular lesson, then just know that the video will come, just not till later in the day. And these videos might not be as clean cut as the other videos that I did. They might be a little bit longer because students in person are asking questions or something like that. So that's part of the reason why I don't think I will build an Edpuzzle into it, because I want you to be able to, if a student asks a question in person and you're sitting there watching it virtually, then you don't need to sit there and listen to the question if you already know what's going on. You can fast forward and do all those things. So that is a plan for right now. Again, some of it might change, but that's what we're going to start with. So if you have any questions, if you're virtual and have any questions about what class is going to look like or what expectations are, then make sure that you get a hold of me. All right. Have a good rest of your day.